This is a PBS and NPR Sports Update.
Hello, Madness fans. I'm Bob Bracoli, PBS Sports, and I'm joined this year by a new broadcast colleague. Vinantra Durange is dead. R.I.P. Vindy.
Blanche Sherbet here, and I represent the esteemed NPR Sports team. Bob, I'm excited to be a part of Public Media Madness 2.
Welcome aboard, Blanche. And I'm excited too. Today, we reveal the 32 contenders who will be competing for your votes.
Your votes and the title of King or Queen of Public Media. The mighty Mr. Rogers won last year, of course, but this year a different public media personality will be crowned, as almost all of our contenders are new.
That's right, almost all are new. Let's start off with our special Mercy Brackets. There's one on each side featuring two contenders who were dismissed in round one last year.
Yes, returning for NPR are Renee Montagne and Click and Clack competing as a duo. Through a highly unscientific process, we determined that these challengers got a bad break last year and deserved another chance.
On the PBS side, our respected veteran journalist, Gwen Eiffel, who took to Twitter to say she was bitter at having to face the powerful Dowager Countess in round one.
Oh, she'll have her chance at revenge, Bob, as will Mark Wahlberg.
He announced his untimely demise thusly: "I just got my ass kicked by Julia Child." And that's a sentence I never thought I'd utter. And yet it feels so right.
So right.
Gotta love that guy.
But no matter what, one of them will definitely make it to round two this year, and who knows how far after that.
True, that's up to you, the voter, when the tournament starts on March 1st.
Let's reveal the remaining 14 matches.
From the "How could you do this to me" department, it's the genius Sherlock Holmes versus his tortured partner, John Watson. Did Moriarty come up with this idea?
That is pure evil. We'll also see the awesome Audie Cornish of All Things Considered face off against adorkable Wait, Don't Tell Me regular Mo Rocca, who is such a charming fellow, don't you think, Bob?
He's a delight, and Audie is a blast on the Pop Culture Happy Hour podcast. We've seen Mo Rocca cooking with grannies and other wacky adventures out in the wild.
Speaking of wild, Bob, it's a masterpiece classic as Mr. Carson takes on Mr. Selfridge.
Mr. on Mr. Action.
Host of Trivia Show Ask Me Another, Ophira Eisenberg, will have to think fast to fend off Peabody Award-winning powerhouse Robin Young.
I cannot wait for that battle. I wish it were here and now.
Damn it. That was awful, Bob.
Even more awful, having to choose between the This Old House Hour host, Kevin O'Connor, and PBS Kids host, Miss Rosa.
Fix-It man Tom Silva had a strong showing last year, so we expect Kevin to represent. But you don't want to count out Miss Rosa. She's one of the most lovable beings on the planet, after all.
She's visited WHYY many times. Tireless, tenacious, and tough to beat.
How do you beat John Hockenberry? Multiple Peabodys, multiple Emmys. The host of The Takeaway is no pushover.
Well, luckily, neither is his opponent. He'll go toe-to-toe with NPR newscaster Lakshmi Singh. This one should be a doozy of a match.
And another tough call from the NPR side is Guy Raz versus Glenn Washington of TED Radio Hour and Snap Judgment. Speeches and stories that suck you in. Unique styles. But who wins is up to you.
Meanwhile, Public Media Madness 2 gives a nod to the creative folks at PBS Digital Studios, home to a host of fun, smart web exclusives, with an epic battle between Idea Channel's Mike Rugnetta and the star of the series Frankenstein MD, Victoria Frankenstein herself.
It is scary hard to decide there.
Oh, I like that.
See what I just did
That's
there?
good. That's good humor. Also, on the PBS side of the tournament, we toast the long PBS history of great shows about food. The dapper, bow-tie-wearing Christopher Kimball takes off the oven mitts to take on the narrator and producer of Mind of a Chef, food show legend Anthony Bourdain.
How do you decide, Bob? That one is tough.
Well, you know what they say. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the test kitchen.
Speaking of hot, Serial was the hottest NPR podcast of 2014, and Sarah Koenig will have to solve the mystery of how to defeat the legendary Diane Rehm.
That is one to watch. Either of them could go far in this tournament, but only one will make it out of the first round.
Is that... wait a minute, is that Alistair Cookie?
Oh yes, this year's contender from Sesame Street is Cookie Monster, and he's sporting his Monsterpiece Theater finest for his match with Mr. Masterpiece Theater, the great Alistair Cook.
That's actually pretty clever.
See? But the final match on the PBS side is as confusing as this one is clever. The brilliant and respected Henry Louis Gates Jr. takes on Lamb Chop. That's right. The man behind African Americans, Many Rivers to Cross, and Finding Your Roots takes on the Sherry Lewis puppet who brought us the song that doesn't end. It just goes on and on, my friend.
Oh, Bob, I'm going to ask you kindly to stop that right now. We are not friends.
I hate you. Enjoy having that stuck in your head all week, Blanche. As we learned last year, sometimes you just can't predict how some of these are going to go. And this is certainly one where we have no idea what's going to happen.
The final matches on the NPR side are award-winning, all things considered weekend host Arun Rath against Maria Hinojosa of Latino USA. And, well, just about everywhere. She could have appeared on the PBS side as well.
True, same for Arun Rath, who is also a correspondent and producer for Frontline. So, both big-time pros.
Prolific.
Nice.
But last and certainly not least is an epic round one battle between two NPR legends, Carl Castle, Susan Stamberg. It's just too much, Bob. It's absolutely impossible.
Those are two heavyweights. It's going to get bloody. And, voters complained about tough choices last year. Ugh.
Well, the good news, and the bad news, is that you have 2 weeks to think this over. Then on March 1st, visit WHYY.org/madness and vote for your favorites in our first round of competition.
You can vote as many times as you like while voting is open, so visit often and try to keep your favorites safe from early elimination. That'll do it for this update. Until next time, I'm Bob Bercoli.
And I'm Blanche Sherbet. See you back here on March 1st, Madness fans. NPR for the win!
No way! PBS takes it again this year. Guaranteed.
Bob, what did I tell you about eating garlic before we sit in here together?
I do it on purpose.